So those pairs would literally be 1 and 4, which equals 5. 2 and 3 also equals 5. Negative 3 and 1 equals negative 2. And then negative 4 and 7 equals 3. So I've already identified the pairs. The issue here is that I have to write a program to get the, I guess, what is it asking me to do again? So like, yeah, I have to write a program that finds those pairs, and then return them. I don't even know where to start.
All right. So, so 5202. All right. So 52. All right. So 50. All right. So, all right. Let's see here. If you scroll to the top, right, and right. So I'll scroll all the way to the top of the.
Sorry. Let me take this out. Okay. Top. Oh, all the way to the top here.
All right. So we write a program that takes an array of integers and a target integer sum, and finds all the pairs of integers in the array that, when added together, equals the target sum. All right. So basically, if you have a number, you have a sum 5, and you have an array 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You have to grab all the pairs, right? That are going to equal 5.
Right. I did that. So I got all of the ones. Actually, I've already identified. Oops. So I did that here. I've identified all of the numbers in each array that equals the target sum, which is here. So these are the target sums. I'm assuming this one is in correlation with the first array here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 5, and then these are negative 2, and then these are 3. So I went through and I found all of the numbers that equal the target sum. I just need to find a way to do this. To write a program that finds these numbers instead of me just identifying them myself. So I know I have to loop through. The arrays. I don't know where to start. Anyway.
So basically, right, it's going to be, so you have to loop through the array two times, right? The first loop, right, at the very base, right? The first loop, actually, even better than that. Instead of looping through it 2 times, right? To get to, say, for example, let's focus on the first array here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the first sum is, so let's focus on the first array, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the sum of 5, right? So basically, right, when it comes to math, right, a cool way to think about it is that there's only one number that you can add with another number that will equal 5. You understand? There's only one number that you can add with another number that will equal 5. Right? So if you say 5 minus 1, let's go through the array, one loop. You say 5 minus 1. What's 5 minus 1?
It's 4.
Right, and 4 plus 1 is 5.
So we have that here. I have that here. 1 and 4, that equals 5, and then 2 and 3 also equals 5.
Right. But the pattern here is that there's only one number that you can add to get to the sum.
Okay.
Right? So how to code it out is that what you want to do, you want to say 5 minus 1 is equal to 4, and then you want to see if 4 is in the array. If 4 is in the array, then that's a new pair. If 4 is not in the array, then it's not a new pair. So let's go to the next item. 5 minus 2.
It's 3.
And is 3 in the array?
Yes.
So then that's a new pair. Now 5 minus 3 is, now this is obvious, so we're going to try to move to negative 2, and we'll try to go from here. And it's going to be harder to, it's going to be pretty hard to the math is hard because there's negative numbers in here. But let's see. All right, so we're gonna say -2 minus 0, right? What's -2 minus 0?
I think it's 1. Wait, I don't know. Hold on. Wait, -2 minus 0 is just -2. Wait, no, that's wrong. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I
No,
think
it's
it's
-2.
Yep. So it's -2, right? So is -2 in the array? In the second array, is it there?
No.
So then that's not a pair.
Yeah,
Right?
you're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, I'm cutting out. All right, hold on. All right, can you hear me now or no?
A little bit. Seems like it's cutting in and out.
All right, let me try. All right. So back to where we were, right? So -2 is not in the array, so that's not going to be a pair, right? So how about -1? So what is -2 minus -1? Actually, right. Okay, yeah. So what's -2 minus -1?
-3.
Really? Yeah. See, this is where it's going to get hard because, yeah, negative numbers are confusing, right? So -3 is in the array, right? So and then we keep going. So what is -2 minus 2?
-4.
Okay. So, and it's not in the array.
Right.
And so -3, but -2 minus -3 is -1. That's in the array. And then 2 minus 1 is 1, which is in the array, right? But is there allowed to be duplicates? Did the course say that you can have duplicates in there? So if there's already 1, can you have another 1? And that would be a pair, or there has to be 2 number 1s in the array?
That I'm actually not sure of.
What do the instructions say?
The instructions just say return array of integer pairs. It doesn't say whether there could be duplicates or not.
All right. Well, let's have the duplicates, and then I'm pretty sure once we run that, then it'll just throw the error. All right. So essentially, all right. Let's try to see the example. Let me see how they want to have it returned. And then William, and then Freehall. Yeah, scroll up a bit, and I want to see how they want to have it returned. Okay. So, it's not even show you how to return the result, huh? All right, very well.
I think if you run it, then it might, like down here.
All right, let's focus on the code. All right, so essentially, right? All right, we want to be able. So we have arrays and sums, right? So basically, we want to pass the arrays at index 1 and then sums at index 1 to the method. So let's so we already have that written out, right? So now we're going to loop through that array. So the first array in the method toSum, we want to loop through it, right?
So then I would do something like array. Wait.
So
how do I?
Okay, go ahead. First, define a variable named pairs. Right, it's going to be an empty array. We need the variable pairs. So
pairs.
Empty array.
Empty array. Okay, empty.
Which is equal to empty array, right? That's how they do it in Ruby. Yeah. Okay. Then what we want to do is now we want to loop through the array. So now let's make a for loop, looping through every value in the array after pairs, right? After, so it's going down a new line.
Okay. So then you're saying do a for loop?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to loop through the array.
Right. I forgot how to do a for loop.
Oh,
Haven't done it in a while. Um, I I just know this is the one I'm used to. This one.
okay, yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
All right, so now in the loop, right? You're going to take this. You're going to take the sum. You're going to say sum minus the entry.
Entry?
Yeah, which is like, so there's an index, there's an item, right? Each item in the index, it's an entry, right? So we need the variable, right?
Okay.
And then, right, that's going to be the target, right? Equals target. So you're going to set that equal to a variable called target, right? And now if the target is in the array,
Wait, so you said if the target's in the array?
right, then that's your pair. If the target's in the array, that's your pair. So um you're going to make it, if the target's in the array, you're going to create a variable called pair. That's an array. The first value will be the entry, and then the second value in the pair will be the target.
So would
If
I
the
say
if the target is inside the array variable, right? How in Ruby do we find if the target's in the array?
uh
You have to do Google search. You have to do Google search. William, is that you?
That's me, man. So,
Okay. You work with Ruby? I know with iOS development, you got some Ruby in there. So
nah,
you don't work. No.
yeah,
include?
barely touch it, barely touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got them. All right, sounds good. I got the MacBook, so hopefully I don't have to touch it too much. All I needed to do is deploy to the App Store. So, but if not, I have to learn. I have to I have to dust off my Ruby skills. So, all right, very well.
I keep forgetting that the include method is kind of how you say that. Yeah. So and there are actually more methods, but I'll just use the include one. So like if the target or no, I think it would be better to say if the array includes the target, but I don't know. Let's try it the other way. Include. You said the array.
Right. So if the target's inside the array, then you want to make a new variable pair. Right. You want to first check if the target's inside the array.
Okay. Um. Hold on. How did I do this before? It's been a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steven, that's Ruby loops, right? That's the Ruby loops. Oh, Steven, you been working with Ruby?
No, I went and did some Google searches on how to construct a Ruby loops. It's also Ruby syntax, classes, variables, operations, comments, if-else statements, methods, blocks, modules, strings, arrays, hashes. So this was just a helpful thing to help you out. That's all I just was finding. So
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, if you look at this answer here, so essentially that array, where, so that array, right, is going to be, it's where you say target, you're going to say arrays, and then right after include, it's going to be the value, which is target. So it's going to be array dot include and then target according to
Uh,
the
I figured. Okay, so if arrays include and then target. Wait. Did you put something in the chat?
No, I think Steven did. Yeah.
I don't see it. Where is it?
Yeah, I think Steven did, but now it
I don't.
is no longer
Okay.
there. And then Free, can you hear us?
Wait, what's the question for this?
No, Free, can you hear us? Free Hall? All right, yes. Yeah, so basically, yeah, well, so the yeah, I was trying to reach out to one of the guests in the gather, but yeah, essentially what we wanted to try to do, right, we have to, right, I think it's already done. We have to figure out how to see if targets in a value in arrays in Ruby, how to check if an array contains an item in Ruby, right? So now what we're doing now is we have to make a pair, right? So if the array include the target, then we have to make a new variable called a pair, which is an array, and then the array, the first value for the pair is going to be the entry, and then the second one is going to be the target.
Okay. You said make a new.
Yeah, it's the pair, and then, right? It's the pair, and then you have to push it to the pairs, right? Because ultimately, that toSum is going to return all the pairs, right? So pairs is going to be the array of entry and target.
I forgot how to push. I did this in like a old lesson.
Well, before you push, you have to make the array first. You have to make the pair first.
Okay. Am I making a new array?
Yeah, it's called pair. Yeah.
Okay, so that's pair, but then, and then what am I? Is it an empty array?
Yeah, it's an array with two values: entry as the first value, and then target as the second value. Right, and then you want to push the pair to the pairs.
I forgot how to do that. Let's see. How to push and pushing an array Ruby. Push. This is not what I used before. There's another way of doing this. There's another way. I did it before. I forgot. This is not the way we did it using push. I don't know what this is.
Is it put?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, Steve, what do you think it might be?
I'm really trying.
Oh, Steve, your mic.
Have it down. I think it might have been puts, but I'm not so sure if that was like puts, and then you would have whatever the array is, and then pack. That's what I'm looking at for right now, but I don't know if that's correct. So
I don't recall us ever using the push method.
Well, well, the goal is to add an item to an array, right? So, have you ever added an item to an array?
I have. I just forgot, and I did it in like a previous lesson. I would have to try to look through that. I did it once, or maybe even twice. I just don't recall using push. That's not how we did it. Yeah, we didn't do any of this. Okay, I'm gonna try out push and just see. First, let me go back and see how you even use that one. This one, push function or method. Be dot push. So I'm assuming. What is this?
Right. So, right, we have to. Yep, we have to do that.
Okay. Let's try it. Would that work?
I don't see the screen where the I don't see where the code is.
Oh, here.
Yeah, then you push. You say pair.
Okay.
Right, and then it's for line 15. On line 15, instead of pairs each, it's going to be array dot each. Right, we're not looping through the pair. We're looping through the array. Right, and then at the very end, right, we have to return pairs. We have to return the pairs variable at the very end of the array.
Oh, at the end of what array?
Sorry, at the end of the function. At the very end of the function, we return the result, which is pairs.
Okay, so puts pairs.
Okay. Right, so that should be the function, right? So, right, so it says, right, essentially.
No.
REPL.com. You can kind of use that. It has Ruby in the Rails has a setup, so that might be easier to hold on to it just in case if you need to, if you create an account like that, it's pretty nice.
Replit or REPL?
Yeah, you have it. If you sign in, you create an account. It has different programming languages. It's not just whatever you feel comfortable with. It has HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node, React, JavaScript, Python, C++, C, Java, C Sharp, Bash, PHP, Swift, TypeScript, Ruby, Go, Flask. There's just Dart, R, and Clojure, Culti, and Django. So it has a nice. If you go to you type in Ruby, it should be there. And you can name it whatever you want to. I find that it's easier, so you have something you copy from the actual program, and then you can kind of have your own lab. And if it gets erased, then at least you don't have to start all over again. So
I'm gonna tell my instructor that every time I put an answer in, it breaks.
Yeah, you could delete the put. You can comment out the or delete it. Yeah, so now you can play around with it without. If anything happens, then at least that you have this. You have the information that you already set up with. So
got it. Okay. All right. So let me just commented out code. All right. So what we were doing before. Lovely. Okay, so it was like pairs equals empty array. Oh, what? It was about the prefill. Okay. And then this is like auto-populating code already.
you could turn it off as well.
I actually want to try that. Each index do?
I mean, it's kind of like I don't want you to cheat because not cheat, but
this is kind of what we already had, except I didn't have each with index. Because each with index just is kind of what the name says. It includes the index. Okay, so instead of number one, what do we have? I remember it was
Well, you have your parameters. You have the array, which you have already stated, and then you also have the sum.
right.
Or do you want to add the pairs within the array? Like push the pairs into the array.
It was what we had before was like something minus something, which gave us what was it called? Michael, what was it called?
Right. So you have to get want to get the value, right? Right. So for what's the value? You want to get that entry, right? So that's each item in the array. So you need that item, right? And then you want to take the sum. You want to say sum minus entry equals target.
There we go. Sum minus entry equals target. Okay.
Right.
And then let me close. Before I forget. Okay. Okay, so then inside of this, I have pair, which is entry and target. It's pretty filling. I like this already. Okay. And then I would say array dot include of pair. Already filling this out for me, except this is not what we had before.
I think you could go to, I think it's called AI at the bottom right here. I think you can click that off. Yeah, click that off. So now it won't autocomplete your stuff.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out. I gotta get some stuff done.
Okay. So I don't think it's. Is this correct? Wait, aren't I pushing the pair into pairs?
Yeah, you want to see if the array includes a target.
Oh. Target. Okay. And then.
Right. If the array, yeah. So if the array includes a target, then pair push pair, and at the end of it, you want to return the pairs. At the end of the function. Yeah.
Can I comment this one out really quick? Okay, so put. Okay. Oops. Oh, syntax error unexpected. On line 18. Okay. Or am I missing an end?
Yeah.
Or do I have an extra end? Is that what's going on?
Well,
it says unexpected end. Line 23.
yeah. So wait. Maybe the example. Maybe I have to go back to the example to see how to loop through the array. Let's see if it looks similar to looping through an array. How to loop through an array. Let's try to look for the example of looping through an array in Ruby.
Oh, okay. Looping through an array in Ruby. I thought it was that way. Are there different ways you can do it? Yeah, I'm used to dot each, but there's dot length. But this is the one I'm used to is dot each.
Yeah, but that's not the full. That's not the full example, right? That's just the method. We want a full example.
Full example. Okay. Yeah, there's also map because I've used this one too. But should I get another example or?
Maybe it's time to ask ChatGPT.
Okay. Oh, I just still feel like each should work because it normally works for like a lot of things. So let's see how to loop through an array in Ruby. Can I also put my example from like this example here in?
All we need is how to loop through an array in Ruby.
Okay.
It seems.
It's dot each. I mean, that's what I've been using for like all this time.
Yeah, but if you look closely, right, the pattern we see here, and then the pattern you're doing, is
It's wrong because normally I've never subtracted. Like I've never done any arithmetic in between these pipes here. It's normally these just taken like this is a, I don't know, it's a variable. So it's just saying, I don't know how to put this into words, but I don't think you do subtraction in those pipes, but I'm not sure. Like I don't think this is right.
right. So you do the logic in the code block, right? So entry or element is where you declare the entry, and you'll get the target variable inside the code block.
Right. So are you saying, wait, let me copy this really quick. What you're saying is, so entry, target, and then in here I would do the logic. Yeah, I think that's this is not it. Should I say, wait a second. Target is equal to sum minus uh, how would I do this? So it would be here is equal to sum minus entry.
Right. So
Or
so if you look at what ChatGPT said, right? We see that on for the second example, right? It's indicating that the first variable is element and the second variable is index, right? So element and index, right, have a different meaning than target. So that second variable index is not going to be the target, right? Index means the position where the element is in the array, right? So just giving it a different name is not going to change the meaning, right? So in your code, you said index was the entry or the target, but
No.
it's element and index, right? So, and then we have to define the target variable, and then target is going to be equal to the sum minus the element. Right, and if the array includes the target, then we have to push we have to push the pair, right? So, but before we could push a pair, we have to create the pair variable. So, right. So pair is gonna be the entry, and then then it's gonna be the element, and then the target's it's an array of the element, right, and then the target. Yeah. So
Okay.
pair is an array of an element and a target.
Okay.
And then if the array includes a target, we want to push the pair into the pairs, right? We want to push that one pair into the pairs, not the other way around. And then at the end of this function, we want to return the pairs.
Right here.
Right. Right. I think it goes before that last end statement. Right. So yeah, let's clear. We clear again, and then we try to run again. Yeah, and then it looks like you have to call the function. Never called it, it seems.
What do you mean by call the function?
Yeah, so you define the function that you never call it, right? So you see on line 28, you commented
Oh,
out the function
here.
call.
This one, okay.
Right? And then pair is element and target. It's printed in an interesting way. Shouldn't, yeah, because I see 1, 4, 2, 3, but it's, but what it, how do you have it printed the right way? Why is it? What do you know why it's printing like that? Or
I have no idea why it's printing like this.
yeah, because it should print out as an array, because pairs in
I
an
know.
array.
I don't know why it's printing out like this.
Can we ask ChatGPT, see why?
Okay. Should I actually take the block of code this time? Okay. Why is
You have to. I see what you did. You have to. You pass the 2D array to the function when it was expecting 1D arrays. So if we go back to our code, right? So arrays is what does arrays.sample do?
it gives you like it randomizes. So a sample, it just randomizes the arrays.
Oh, okay. And so array. All right. So let's ask ChatGPT why is it not printing out an array?
Oh, okay. So I should probably include all of this. It does return a Boolean. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is what we were missing here. This part. Let me look at this. So if array dot include also didn't do an if statement. Can I see this?
Right. So right before the if statement, right, we see that instead of at the end of the function, instead of saying puts pairs, it just says pairs.
Yeah.
Right. So have you modified the code to do that? Okay. Right. Good. Right. So now the way it's returning, it's not giving you an array. It's an array, but the way it's printed it out, it doesn't look like an array. The goal is we want to find out why ChatGPT is not printing out in array format. Why is it printing out in a list of numbers?
Okay, so are you saying, should I ask again, like, why?
It's printed out an array, but it looks more like a list of numbers instead of an array. Right? We need the print result to format to look like an array.
Why is what do you call this? Print, okay. There we go.
Okay. Right, and it's gonna be tough to see what's going on because we're doing sample. So instead of array.sample, what we want to do is you just want to grab the first index of the arrays variable, and we want to grab the first index from the sums variable so we could get a consistent result so that we can see what's going on. Right.
Okay.
So arrays, instead of arrays.sample, should be arrays at index 0. And same thing with sum. It should be sum at index 0.
I think so. This code is what they provided, so I can't change that.
Yeah, I know, but we shouldn't get the same length because we have to know which sum we're dealing with and which array we're dealing with, right?
Right.
Right. So for the time being, we could just change it to 0, and then we'll change it back.
Okay. So that would be literally just this, and then sums. You're saying at index 0, right?
Right.
Okay, so that would be 0.
Right. And let's run the application again. Right. So we see that it looks like it went and grabbed every single value in the array, right? But that's right. So this is where the if statement comes in, right? Because on line 21, you say array.include without ever putting the result in the if statement. So we need an if statement there. And then only if that condition is true, we push the pair right? So it looks like for now, right? That's gonna be the result, right? So that's the result. So now we could, instead of index 0, we could go back to sample, right? But we want to print the array, and we want to print the sum, so that we know what we're dealing with, so that you could test.
Got it.
Yeah. Now you want to print the array and the sum before you call the function, so you know, all right, so you know that the function's working.
You said before I call the function?
Yeah, you want to print the array variable and the sum variable.
Okay, so would I do it here?
No, you do it outside the function.
Outside?
Yeah.
Okay. Array, and then you said array and the
Yeah, and the sum.
sum. Should I change this to print as well, or just keep it as puts?
Yeah, you could change it to p, but then on line 26 you have to return the variable instead of printing it.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So basically, if you look at it,
Wait, sorry. Let me run it again.
yeah. So basically, if you look at it, right, none of those numbers have an opposite number where the result is going to be 2. Right. So if we do that, if we apply that same logic before, right,